I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
I was at work the other day talking to a coworker when they told me they recently saw Jordan Peele's new movie Nope. This intrigued me as I thought the trailers were interesting and I didn't know the movie was even out. However, what they said about it cemented the fact that Nope was absolutely a film I needed to see. When I asked how it was, they told me it was one of the worst movies they'd ever seen and it was so stupid and it didn't make any sense. Now, in most cases, I would have just taken their word for it, but knowing it was a Jordan Peele movie made me think otherwise. You see, nothing makes me more excited for a work of art than knowing it's contentious and divisive, because that probably means it's experimental, and I love experimental shit. Well, now that I've seen it, I've been thinking a lot about it and the negative response it's received. About why so many people dislike its somewhat unconventional approach to storytelling and its seemingly disparate narratives and unclear themes.
It keeps you interested until it lets you down. Lots of potential, but little payoff. So many ideas crammed into one film, and somehow it doesn't add up to a satisfying better movie. Nope is one of the worst. Came out for fireworks. Inspired off. I love following you.
Am I the only one who understands the complexities of this ambitious cinematic masterpiece? This movie isn't stupid! You're stupid!
And honestly, I think it may be due to the fact that as a generation, our collective approach to media criticism and how we consume media is fairly flawed. In school, we are taught in writing classes that stories must obey a very strict set of standards and rules. And if they don't, they are incorrect. Every story must have a plot that perfectly follows Freytag's pyramid, and if it doesn't, something integral is missing. And when we get home, we hop on YouTube and watch channels like CinemaSins that make videos dissecting films with the intent of exposing every minute flaw within them. While CinemaSins and similar channels are purely entertainment, I don't doubt that they left an impression on us that the correct way to absorb media is to conquer it through analytically tearing it apart and proving how smart we are in the process.
Nearly a full minute of Chris slowly walking towards a dead deer.
You fucking...
Of course, I think it's very good that we are taught to utilize a system of writing that works, especially when we are just beginning. And it's also good that we are critical of a story's internal consistency, but we shouldn't then say that there is just a single correct way to tell a story or make art. Maybe a film like Nope that doesn't follow the expected standard of storytelling is doing so because it is trying to achieve a mood or provide an experience that wouldn't be possible otherwise. And whether we admit it or not, we already accept the fact that movies don't always have to make perfect logical sense. Think about it, films such as Spirited Away, The Shining, Eraserhead, and a whole giant horde of other surreal movies are beloved classics that have generated endless discussion and critical praise. And yet those films don't exactly make total sense, do they? But we love them anyway. So if we accept those classics as being great, why do modern films that exist on the same wavelength get such a poor response? Why do modern audiences generally seem to want to be spoon-fed everything? I find this quite frustrating.
Damn.
I think Jordan Peele is less concerned with giving us a film that has all the answers provided to us, but rather an experience that we can all try to solve for ourselves. What fun is there in being given a puzzle if it's already been solved for you? Don't you want to try and solve it yourself? And because each and every one of us is a different person with our own unique experiences and perspectives, we can all find different meanings in his movies. And that's neat. The major complaint with Nope that I've seen floating around the most is that the chimpanzee side plot doesn't fit in a movie about aliens. It's confusing, jarring, and out of place. And I understand this criticism as an initial reaction, however, it's very unfair to say that there is no purpose in its inclusion. In writing, there's a technique whereby placing two unrelated things next to each other, you create meaning from their juxtaposition. Because in doing so, you are inherently telling your audience there is a purpose for them being placed together, and they should look for what that is. You see, through the juxtaposition of the alien attack and the chimp attack, we see the same circumstances repeated. That being, humans will always try to exploit and profit off of what is ultimately uncontrollable and beyond our understanding. The producers of the reality TV show believed they could train and make a chimpanzee completely obedient, as if it were just another actor. In the same way, Steven Yeun's character, who survived the chimpanzee's slaughter as a child, attempts to control the UFO creature for his carnival show, which doesn't exactly work out for him. The connection between the chimpanzee and the alien becomes clear given how much of the movie reinforces the idea that the alien is not some sort of cosmic deity with godlike intelligence, but rather a beast with animalistic impulses. It's territorial like a horse, hunts and feeds like a predator, and is violent and unpredictable like a chimpanzee. But of course, making a movie that demands a lot of effort from the audience requires getting the audience to be invested in the first place. Because if the audience doesn't care about the characters and they aren't interested in the plot, you can't expect them to put in the effort to solve the movie's puzzle. Thankfully, Jordan Peele is a masterful character writer, and Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya's performances have an immense volume of charisma and depth. Their struggle to make it in an industry pioneered by their ancestor is very human and relatable, and makes us root for them from the very start, even when the plot is slowly and meticulously unraveling. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I didn't really want to do a full movie review, but as you can probably guess, I really loved Nope. I just wanted to comment on the rather irritating trend I've seen a lot online lately, where people want every movie they see to be completely spelled out for them so they don't have to think. Anyway, see ya.